Hey there, adventurers. Welcome to Let's Just Go podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kayla. And today we're going to give you just the tips about Universal Studios Hollywood.
So I know we've talked a lot about Orlando, but Hollywood is, I feel like, the forgotten younger sibling. But it's...
I mean, honestly, because it's not that great compared to Universal Orlando, if you ask me.
Well, what are some parts that are better? One, it currently has Nintendo World, but that'll die when Epic Universe opens, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it does have that, and then
it is a live studio tour. Like
the live studios is really the big differential there.
Like you're on an active working lot, which is really cool, and you get to see. I mean, you're probably not going to see like celebrities, but you are going to get to see different sets that you've probably seen before and you may recognize, which is really cool.
So admittedly, I've never been.
Can you believe that? I mean, I can believe that.
No, I need to get there. I want to see it. But it's also a much smaller park compared to...
So small.
Orlando.
It's small, but it's also 2 stories, which is so weird. So you enter on the top floor, and I believe it's Wizarding World, Simpsons, and there's one other thing upstairs. And then you go down a bunch of escalators or stairs if you want to be that way, but it's like 3 or 4 stories. And I say stories, and I mean it's really like 1,000 feet down. Like it's a long ways down. And then down below is the Mummy Ride, Jurassic Park. I believe that's where you load for the studio tour. The last time I went, I did a VIP tour, and so we got on for our VIP tour in a different place, like to get through the studio tour than the regular studio tour is. And then, and Super Nintendo is also downstairs. So the layout is really strange. I'm going to go ahead and guess that there are people who don't realize that there's a downstairs and only do half of the park and leave and are like, that was it? This is what I paid for? But if you've never been to Universal Orlando, you will have an amazing time. If you have been to Universal Orlando, it is really hard not to compare all of everything to Universal Orlando, because you're like, oh, but the Wizarding World here isn't as big. There's not as much to it because it's just Hogsmeade. It's not also Diagon Alley. There's no Hogwarts Express, any of that. But there is like a Secret Life of Pets area. There's a pretty good like Minions area. Not as big as the existing stuff now at Universal Orlando, but they did Minion stuff there first. But I would say I've been twice. I've been once just as a regular general admission guest. And then I went last year and did a VIP tour. And that is the only way I'll ever go back.
So talk to us about the VIP tour, because a lot of people go and do that because of what it includes. Yeah. It's a little pricey, but the inclusions are great.
Yeah. So the first thing to keep in mind for Universal Hollywood is that there's no easy way to get to the park. Like it's not going to be I'm going to hop on a shuttle unless you're staying at like one of very few hotels that are either walking distance or do offer a shuttle. So you're probably going to be driving. And the VIP tour actually includes valet, which is really nice. So you get not only valet parking, but it's pretty quick, the pickup and drop off, which is really nice. So yeah, you should still tip them, but you're not paying I think it's like $50 or maybe $75. It's a lot of money per day to valet. You get a cute little continental breakfast. I say continental, but it's like better than a continental breakfast. But there's like a little buffet for you before your tour starts, overlooking the Esplanade at the entrance of the park, which is really cute. Then you have, I can't remember how many hours it is. I want to say it's either 6 or 8 hours of touring. And you can choose to do a private group, but we just did a group VIP tour. So we were with other people that we didn't know. People made requests about things that they really wanted to see and do, and our guide did her best to accommodate those things. And then you also have lunch included, which is not only lunch, but there are also characters wandering. So like Dracula, Marilyn Monroe, the guy whose name I can't ever remember from Back to the Future. So you've got those guys wandering around. And the buffet for lunch is really good. And they're very accommodating if you have allergies. Everything's very well listed, which is nice. They also are like giving you water bottles every time you turn around. And then you have your own, like, instead of being a big long tram to do the studio tour, you're in a little tiny like trolley car basically with your group and a second group. And you get to get out and walk around on the sets, which is really cool. So we actually got to go into a sound stage and see, I think it was Quantum Leap is what the stage was being used for. So that was really, really cool. We also got to get out on one of the sets it was used for The Good Place. And just like hang out and take pictures and stuff. It was, I don't know. I'm not a movie person. So that's, I think, the biggest reason for me that it's not a park that I love. But if you're a movie person, it's pretty fucking cool.
Well, and how long was the VIP tour?
We started at, I want to say 10. Like that's when we met up with our VIP tour guide. And we ended with like just enough time to get on like one or two extra things at the end. And I want to say that was like 5:30. So like 7.5 hours. It's not a short thing at all. Unfortunately for us, it was Halloween Horror Nights. And this is a tip. If you're traveling for Halloween Horror Nights, just know that just because the park says it closes at 6, they will stop letting you on rides at 5:30. So the park really closes at 5:30 and they're lying, which was honestly very frustrating for me to realize that was the case. I didn't know that. It seemed a little misleading to me. Then we were running to try to get on rides and we couldn't get on them because we were forewarned about it. But if I wasn't, that's rude.
Right, because it's not how the park normally operates when it's closed.
Yeah.
If it says it closes at 6, you have till 5:59 to get in line.
Exactly. Yeah.
The food was good, but I'm guessing how many other people were in your group?
I think there were 10 of us total.
Okay. And so
like a decent size.
They could mix up. Were there kids in the group?
There were 2 kids. There was like a teenager and then like a 7 to 10-year-old. I can't remember how old they were.
So, but they were, when you said that the guide was accommodating, like everybody's requests were accommodated for the most part?
Yeah. So like we ended up going to the Kung Fu Panda show because someone really wanted to see it, which I was glad we did because I didn't even know it existed and I wouldn't have gone and seen it. But then like I wanted to do the Secret Life of Pets ride, and that's the ride I couldn't get in line for in time. And I'm not still bitter about it a year later at all.
Nice. There is now the Kung Fu Panda is in the
I know
section of Universal Orlando.
Yeah, it looks really cute. I didn't stay for that show.
Like, kind of like Turtle Talk with Crush.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
So they do seasonally, they have Halloween Horror Nights. Do they do anything else?
Mm-hmm. No, they don't. There's way more done at Universal Orlando. Like they don't do Mardi Gras there. They don't do. I think they might decorate for Christmas, but like there's not like a Christmas parade like there is. There's nowhere to have a parade. Universal Hollywood. Like there's no. As far as I know, there aren't any like nighttime spectaculars or anything like that at Universal Hollywood. It really is. It's a working set that has some rides around it. So it's not your typical theme park. Like if you're used to Disney or you're used to Universal Orlando, I would say that it sort of falls flat in that way, that there isn't that extra thing outside of rides. You're really coming for the rides and the studio tour.
It's a one-day experience.
Yeah. They recently started selling 2-day tickets when they opened Super Nintendo World. But I personally would rather pay for the VIP tour, do it the one day, and be done with it. But you could do 2 days. It's just that you're gonna be doing the same things more than once.
Can you pay for early entrance?
You can pay for early entrance specifically for Super Nintendo World, so you can get in a half an hour early, and that also gets you onto their one ride. So they have Bowser's Challenge. I can't remember what the name of the ride is. It's like Mario Kart in real life. So you can get into that. You can get reservations for Toadstool Cafe. And then you can like see the land without a bunch of people in it, which is nice.
All right. So it's more of a add-on to if you're going to San Diego or to Hollywood, like, or doing Disneyland and Anaheim, and maybe it's not super close to Disneyland, but you could add that on.
Yeah, it's located in Burbank. So if you're already doing things in Hollywood or like doing an LA trip, I would say add it on. A lot of people don't realize how far it is from Disneyland. So without traffic, it's about an hour. With traffic, it could be a lot longer than that. But if you are already like, let's say you're going to Hollywood Bowl for a concert, or you wanted to hang out and do other studio tours, because there is Warner Brothers, there's Paramount, like there are other studios that you can go visit. This is definitely a great add-on for that. I would also say if you're looking for a place to stay, the Garland, hands down without a doubt, is the place to stay. They offer a free shuttle to get you to and from the park. It's a cute trolley. The rooms are fantastic. They have a restaurant on property that is divine. We had such a great meal there. And it's far enough removed that you don't feel like you're in this like super touristy zone. Like across the street are houses from the hotel. Like we went and walked around because we were training for a half marathon at that point. So I was trying to like jog through Hollywood. I was trying to get used to because the half marathon was in California. So I was trying to get acclimated to the region.
Didn't really work out for you, but
no, it did not.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So I mean, I do want to go. I love the whole idea of the working set. I've done the Warner Brothers Studios tour, which is amazing. And that it's just fun to see. It's not something, as an East Coaster that we're just really ever privy to. So on the day to day.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So have you been? We want to know. And if you have been or haven't been, what was your favorite ride or what would you want to see? For me, it's definitely Super Mario Brothers. I mean, and I do the Nintendo World. I also love Secret Life of Pets.
Oh,
so, and anything that you can't get here on the East Coast in Orlando, then it's fun to obviously experience that and prioritize that.
Yeah. Like they're getting ready to do a Fast and the Furious roller coaster. Not a Fast and the Furious ride, like the awful one in Orlando.
Yeah, that needs a little revisit.
Yeah, so that'll be a thing worth visiting once it's open. I'm excited to see what that's like, although we all know my thoughts on Velocicoaster, so if it's anything like that, I'll probably sit it out.
I'm sure it's going to be pretty intense.
Yeah,
you'll do it once.
Yeah, I'll do it once, and that's it. Never again.
All right. Well, so let us know. Make sure you're following us on all the things social. And in the meantime, Kayla.
Yeah. Until next time, let's just go.